Minutes from downtown Austin is an open concept new home with mid-century vibes. If you like amazing design, you like second floor balconies, then stick with me for a great home tour. Now this is 4506 Chiappero Trail right here in Austin, Texas. We're in the Rosedale area and we got mid-century vibes because down the street from here is Herb Kroom's mid-century masterpiece on La Ronde. If you know anything about design, Herb was a great architect that designed many homes right down the street from here. When I say down the street, literally 30 to 60 seconds away, walking distance. And so this home has a vibe that carries the culture that's around this area from a design standpoint. And I love how the builder designed this home. And I'm going to show it to you in full detail. I want to give a shout out to the listing agent, Heather Banks at All City Real Estate. Also, the architect was Magic Architecture, and the interior finishes, the construction were all done by Cary Studios. And my name is Raj Sahoo. I'm a realtor in Austin, Texas, but you shouldn't work with me as a realtor, and I'll tell you why later on in the video. Now we're going to spend a lot of time in this main living area, and we're going to start right here in the kitchen. But I also want to let you know, upstairs we got a couple of bedrooms, with one with a private balcony. We're going to see multiple access ways to get to the side yard that's here, and then wait until you see the primary bathroom that has great design. But what my clients tell me they love about this kitchen is it's so welcoming. It actually looks out to the front yard. You got this massive kitchen island with a great vein running through the countertop to provide a great contrast in colors. But what so many people tell me they want is when they're in the Austin, Texas area, they want people that are walking across the street to just flag them down and bring them into their home. They want a welcoming home, and that's where I'm finding a lot of people are looking for like a front area hangout. Maybe it's behind a gate, and then you just have like a couple of chairs outside, but then if it's outside, you can't really enjoy it in the summer. And so this was one of the most unique kitchens that I've seen, looking right out through the front door with all this glass to welcome in anybody who's in the neighborhood. And that's the type of neighborhood this area is all about. Rosedale. It's people that want to move here are the ones that want that lively, active city, but don't want to be downtown Austin. They're done with the apartment condo life. They don't want to ride down an elevator just to take out their dog. They want to actually buy their house. And this is one of those opportunities to get in central Austin while still getting a house with amazing design. Now, I don't want to miss it, but there is a door on the left side. It's almost hidden, but it's massive. It's actually one of the biggest doors I've ever seen in my life, but we're going to get out to that. Towards the end of the video, I'm going to show you that. There's also a game room downstairs. There's so much to see, but I did want to show you this pantry that has great built-ins. And while we look at this home does have 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, and is over 3,000 square feet. But I do think square footage is a bit deceptive in this home because you'll see with so much glass around the house, the indoor-outdoor space all feels like it's one space. And then to give a little bit more privacy from the kitchen, we actually have the refrigerator located in this area. We also showed a built-in microwave on the left side there earlier, and then this is a built-in oven. And so that way, this kitchen is really a hangout area. You want to do cooking, you want to grab something from the fridge, you got to go over here. This is all about entertaining, having people over, and you're going to see that with the dining area right outside of this massive kitchen island. And you got to see a 8-seater table here. I think the table could be bigger. Keep in mind this is just staging because this is a 2025 build, so this is a brand new home. I also think you're starting to see how big that door is. I almost forgot to show it towards the end of the video, but don't worry, I'm going to open up that swivel door and you're going to see not only so much glass, but a lot of these windows, but some of this is a door that just opens up to that side yard, which I think is such a fun upgrade to have in the home. I also want to recognize all the great design that's in here. Take a look at this light fixture. Let me know what you think about it. And then I think you'll see later on in the video, they have this great accent color, this green color that they use to on the HVAC that you see there. I love how they kept that HVAC open so the ceiling height is as high as possible. Previously, we saw the designer vent hood over there, as well as some of the window frames have that green accent. And then later on, you're going to see a beautiful stairwell design that uses that same green accent color. And that's where a design really flows here. And no matter where you sit on this dining table, you're met with natural light and greenery everywhere. And I can't help myself but look around this main living area, because every time I look around, I find something new in this home that I just didn't see earlier. It's just, there's so much, such a strong level of detail done on the design part. Now, what we got to move on to is the mid-century vibe, and that's got to be a fireplace. It's actually one of the first things you notice, other than the windows and the tall ceilings. And the fireplace has always served as the centerpiece or the focal point for mid-century homes. And so I love how they kept that right in the center of this without getting in the way. It actually like serves a purpose, right? You want to cut up this stairwell that's in the back. It's going to go up to a couple bedrooms and that private balcony. You got a couple more bedrooms on either side here. So I think having a little bit of privacy there, it's perfect. That fireplace really does serve a purpose. And as we get into the primary bedroom, you'll see I pretty much forgot to turn on lights in so many different areas of this home, but it doesn't matter because there's a sliding door that's bringing in so much natural light in this home. And then I love that wood design that they have behind the bed. And you're going to see there's a surprise back there, or if you already know mid-century modern homes, you might already know what that surprise looks like. But I want to get outside first, if I can get that door open. There we go. And I want to show you this side yard, because so many people tell me they need some sort of usable yard space. That's why they want to get out of downtown Austin. Hey, real quick, if you're loving homes around this area of central Austin, like I told you earlier, I'm not the realtor for you. The simple reason why is I built a base of clients that were all interested in new construction in the suburbs of Austin, Texas. And this isn't the suburbs, this is minutes from downtown Austin. And so this area, I have a few realtor partners that are all good at different price points, different square footages. It really depends on what you want. So if you want to figure out who to get connected with, scan this QR code, and what it does is it starts a text message with my cell phone. I'll ask you literally 2 to 3 questions, and then depending on your answers, I'll connect you with the right realtor who can connect you in with off-market properties and really get you to know these areas of Rosedale, Allendale, Tarrytown, the Northwest Hills, these different neighborhoods, and why they're different from each other, and what are the opportunities for you in these neighborhoods. So scan that QR code if you want to get connected in, or just find my number at the bottom of the description of this video. Call or text me, and I'm happy to connect you once I get a few questions answered. All right, back to the video. Okay, we're gonna get back into the home here, and by the way, that is a downstairs game room area. There's a powder bath on that side, so there's so much accessibility to this side yard. But stick with me here in the primary bedroom, because I just showed you where the bed was. I showed this really cool accent wall behind the bed, but what you're not seeing is there is a great built-in closet right behind here. And so this gives us that mid-century modern vibe here. Actually just had somebody go through a remodel in a neighborhood north of here. It's actually Northwest Hills, and they were supposed to do a 1-year remodel, and it took 3 years. And you could tell that they were very aggravated, you know, it was very tough. It was very taxing on them, but they loved how their closet that they did behind the bed, very similar to that behind the headboard area, was very cool. But I would say most people would want to just buy a home that already exists, that has this great design. Like, take a look at this primary bathroom where you got toe kick lighting that really accents this fun floor tile. You got a countertop running into the backsplash that's got a ton of movement. You got lights in between these mirrors, and everything really opens up well into the freestanding tub walk-in shower here. Now, I will say the doors, there are double doors here, but this opens up into the vanity. This kind of opens up into the primary shower, but imagine there's not, you know, tons of people moving in and out of this bathroom. It's usually just 1 or 2, so maybe there's a workaround for that. But I do think the design really hits here. Take a look at this freestanding tub, the backsplash going all the way up to the ceiling, and that same tile they use for the backsplash goes all the way up to the ceiling here in the primary shower. Now you see that same countertop material. I like how it fit in some really good movement in that long shower niche there. And then we do have a secondary closet, so you don't have to think that
You only had that one closet. We got 2 areas. We got some good built-ins. If you wanted a good contact to do additional built-ins in these closet spaces to make them more functional, just reach out to me. I'm happy to provide it to you. I have some really good contacts that can even do a great 3D rendering of some possibilities. I also have I have a closet company that has a second studio going in Austin, and they've been doing really well. So happy to pass on those contacts. But I don't want to breeze over this. The sliding glass doors from this view, can't say it enough. It brings in so much natural light. I'm shooting this right now at noon, so the sun's pretty much directly above this home. But does it feel that way? Because this is how much natural light is coming in, even with the sun on top of us over the roof. We're still getting so much natural light here. Now, I gotta get to the secondary bedroom here. I often say it in these homes, when I see the pictures, it's not easy for me to understand where everything's at. And also pictures can be very deceptive, right? The exposure is well lit. Now, a lot of photographers use AI to make the picture look amazing. And can't tell you how many times I've gone through a home, and my clients have, and we just say, hey, this doesn't look like anything like the pictures. And it's just because the pictures are heavily edited. But I'll tell you right now, this home, even with the sun directly above us, we're still getting in so much natural light, and it even feels better than the pictures that I saw online. Like, take a look at this built-in desk. Like, this is not only very functional, but it's great. It's a great design piece with that lamp that hangs to the side as a sconce, a window above that desk area. And then I love these primary bathrooms. I knew this was gonna be one of the most favorite parts of this for not only me, but for clients who are looking at this home. They love the hanging mirrors with that huge window around it. So it still feels like you're a part of that outdoor area. And that's the running theme here. I think I've said it before. The indoor outdoor area all feels like it's a part of the same thing. And that's where I think the most deceptive number that we're seeing here is the square footage is over 3,000 square feet. This feels bigger than homes that I've toured that are 3,500 square feet in this area. And it's because of things like tall ceilings, huge windows, and fun design to draw your eyes in so many different directions. Let me know what you think about this, and there's still so much to see here. I'm gonna go a little bit sideways with this tour because there is a game room and a powder bathroom down that way, and then that's also accessible to that side yard that we saw earlier. But while we're here in the back of the home, I do want to go upstairs. I want to show you the 2 bedrooms with the full bathrooms because there's still so much fun design to see in this home. Like, one of the first things that I did not notice was this accent color. I saw it in other areas, but I didn't see it throughout the home. And then when I noticed it, I said, what a really fun design to kind of pay homage to that old school, like that mid-century, that green color that I don't know the exact name for it, but now I see it throughout the home. You might notice the window frames, these posts, the designer vent hood that we saw earlier, all have that green touch. Even the ventilation, which I love how they kept open so the ceiling height is as high as possible, all have that really fun green touch. And these are the things that people tell me that really matter to them, because when they are looking around downtown Austin, they are sometimes willing to compromise on the square footage in their home, but they want 2 things. Number one, they want the design to hit to make it feel like their home has character. I know everybody uses that word right now. It's like anything old is called character. And it's like, okay, well, sometimes we don't want the bad parts of old things. We want the good things, right? We want the uniqueness, which is the big factor that people tell me. When they're looking around the suburbs, they don't want to feel like they live in a home that looks like everybody else's house. And I think we can all agree on this home, there's so many unique parts to it. Like those mature trees with huge windows, another built-in desk, but this still feels different from the downstairs bedroom that we saw. They still used unique finishes, like take a look at this floor tile and so many fun upgrades, like that hanging mirror with that huge mirror. And even though we are backing up to neighbors, we have neighbors on either side, which is very typical for homes around this area. We're minutes from downtown Austin. You still feel the privacy because of those mature trees. And this is what people tell me they really want in their homes. Let me know what you think about all this. And we're gonna get to the next bedroom that's on the other side of this hallway, other side of the stairwell. And that actually has its own private balcony. Now, while we're getting over there, I did want to mention, going back to design, it's not just design. I've seen plenty of homes that get remodeled and they get a fun design element in one room or two rooms or three rooms, but they don't flow together and there's still no functionality in the home. And whoever's buying that, oftentimes the people that buy and feel like they made a mistake, it's because they feel like they live on top of each other. And it's because they don't have a functional home. We're gonna get to that second floor balcony in a second, but I did wanna mention, a functional home means that you are open concept, you get tall ceilings, you get great design, the tall ceilings, the windows really accent the great design, but a functional home means you can still go to different areas of your home that feel private. So you don't feel like you live on top of each other. So if you, like I have a client who has 2 kids and they just feel like they're always walking on their kids' toys because their kids' toys are, they like take over the living room, then they take over around the kitchen island, and they just don't have a separate area for their kids to play. And when they have guests over, then it's impossible. They have to like consolidate their space in so many locations and they just don't feel like they have enough room. And that's really tough when you're on the West Coast, you're in a different city, or maybe you're in Austin and you're even closer to downtown Austin, or you're in downtown Austin and you always feel like you're consolidating so much just to like enjoy a little bit of time with friends, family visiting, or guests. That's really tough. And what I find is what's missing is usually a room to give you that privacy. Like this home has a private balcony. I wouldn't say this is exactly privacy, but downstairs we're gonna see that game room. We're gonna see, which is separate from the main living area. It's actually right down there. We got this side yard, so people who have dogs really tell me they enjoy that. And then we have still bedrooms that are private from each other. Notice both bedrooms upstairs are on opposite sides of the house. The 2 bedrooms downstairs were also on opposite sides of the house, and everything still feels very private from each other. And that's where I think functionality meets great design in this home. Okay, I should mention, down the street from there is La Ronde, I forget what it is, Drive something, but basically that intersection, if you go down La Ronde, that's where Herb Kroom grew up. And I should say, I don't know if he grew up there, but I do know he's a famous architect that built his own house over there. And that's why you get a lot of the mid-century vibes that people like to do around this area and either remodel or build a new home like this, but they still keep the culture that's here in Austin, and to, you know, pay their respects to a great architect like Herb Kroom. They do things like this. And that's, I think, so important that when people move to Austin, they always tell me they move here for the vibe, they move here for the culture. And it's hard to define what that is. When I ask people, like, because I've even said that, and my wife has even said that. And then I remember asking my wife, like, what does that mean? Like, what does vibe mean to you? And that's not an easy question to answer, but oftentimes people just tell me the culture is very laid back, it's fun, people like being around Austin because it's very vibrant, it's very lively, it's very active. We don't take ourselves super seriously, but we know how to have fun. And what I think about having fun, I think people really do try to protect the culture of Austin, where we don't want to look and feel like every city that's out there. And people are really concerned about that when Austin started developing fast, which definitely happened at the beginning of the pandemic. They really wanted to retain the culture in these areas. And I think this is one way to do that, is keep the architecture very in line with what's around here. And I know that this can be a very polarizing topic. Sometimes you just have a super modern home come in a neighborhood where there's a bunch of ranches that are all mid-century modern, but the modern home kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. It's got like the white stucco on the outside everywhere. And I'm not putting that down, and I'm not saying it's okay. I am saying that can be very polarizing, where it makes some people all very upset. I mean, maybe some other people could care less, but I do find that for most people, they'll tell me that that is not the culture that they want to see in these different areas, and retaining culture is really important to them. let me know what you think about that, and let me any thoughts on that. Obviously, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and let me know what you think about this game room area. This is that space that so many people tell me they need to have. This could also double down as a study. A lot of people tell me they want to study with a door that leads to an outdoor area. So if they're taking a call and they're so tired of working from home in this study, they can just exit that door on a call or just get like a breath of fresh air. And a lot of people tell me that's really important to them. Now, we do have the utility room kind of sandwiched in between the kitchen and this game room area. That's why there's a washer and dryer area here. And then you have some great built-ins in the utility room. All right, let me know what you thought about this home. So much that we covered in here, so much great design, and I'm so glad you could see this 2-story plan that is currently for sale at $2.4 million. Now, it's just about to end the video, and then I realized when I was walking out of here, I missed one of the funnest parts of this. This is a swivel door, and it's massive. Like, this whole thing is a door, and I meant to open it up for you when I was in the living room, but obviously there's a lot to cover in these homes. But I thought this was so cool. What a fun design piece to go to a side yard, and it's just massive, but I'm actually not surprised that I missed it. It's kind of hidden in with the window frames that are here. And these are the fun things that I love showing in these homes, because how about that as a patio door? And I'm putting that in air quotes for sure. That is amazing. So I want to know what you thought about this home in the comments. And if you're looking around this area, I don't think I'm the best realtor for you for this area, but I know great realtors who work really well in this area, depending on your price point and depending on what you're looking for. So if you want to connect, I can get you connected with those realtors. Let's just text back and forth with some questions that once they get answered, I can connect you with somebody great. So if you scan this QR code and all it does is start a text message with my cell phone, you just have to click send, and then I'll connect us together. I'll ask you some questions via text and get you connected with a great realtor in this area, because I'm not the realtor for you, but I'm happy to be honest when I'm not the realtor for you, because I know my specialty and I know what's around this area. And I can tell you that there are some great off-market options that are here from sellers that are maybe remodeling or have homes that are under construction that are amazing, or they're just planning to sell in a month or two and they just have to declutter and do some touch-ups around the house. But it's coming up, and you should get access to those if you're making a decision on where you're gonna buy. So connect with us, and you can also find my number at the bottom of the description of this video. And as always, I hope this helps. Take care, everyone.